Hello and welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. This is the show that gives you everything you need to know before the big game kicks off. Tonight, Derby County go in search of their first win since Boxing Day, and a victory over Oxford United here at Pride Park Stadium would also see the Rams move out of the Championship relegation zone. The man trying to deny them both those accomplishments is someone we know very well indeed. Gary Rowett won promotion to the Premier League with the Rams in his playing days and led them to the Championship playoffs as a manager too. He only arrived at Oxford just before Christmas, but a 9-game unbeaten run saw them power clear of the relegation zone and earned him the Championship Manager of the Month award for January. The visitors are desperate to stay in the division. It's the first time they've been in the second tier for 25 years following their League One playoff victory last season. Derby once again led by Matt Hamshaw tonight. No fresh injury problems for him to worry about, and something to build on after Saturday's draw at Norwich. Derby, remember, haven't won since Boxing Day when they beat West Brom here. 6 of the Rams' 7 wins this season have come at Pride Park. You'll hear from Gary Rowett and Matt Hamshaw before the show comes to a close. Let's start, though, by hearing from Derby midfielder Ben Osborn, who was very pleased to play his part as Derby ended their losing run with that draw at the weekend.
Yeah, it was really nice. A lot of relief. I was actually sat on the bench at the time just thinking, like, we can't lose 8 in a row, surely. Like, law of averages, something's got to happen. And we were still playing quite well at the time. I thought we'd put in a good performance, and I was thinking, is it just be one of them again where we just don't get anything from a half decent performance? And luckily, good play from Marcus, winning the penalty, and then Jerry showed some big to put it away.
You got to kick Marcus as well, bit of damage. Sometimes you have to go through the pain barrier to make things happen, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a stonewall penalty from like where I was sat, but then you never know. But yeah, he's obviously cut all his head as well, but so fair play to him. But yeah, he was buzzing after. So a point away at Norwich, it's not a bad result, but I think like the performances and some of the football we were playing and the way we defended and looked solid and got them on the counter attack a few times, I think like it stuck to the game plan really well. So it was nice to not come away from that empty-handed, and now we just need to build on it.
A couple of new faces in the side as well. Harrison Sondre involved for the first time, and the squad looks a little bit different to how it did start of the transfer window 4 or 5 weeks ago. How is everybody settling in? How has the group dynamic changed at all?
Yeah, settled in really well. I mean, obviously we had a bit of an injury crisis almost the last couple of weeks, so the squad's looking a lot more healthier every day that goes by. I don't think we had any problems from the Norwich game, so it's only going to be getting stronger looking to Tuesday. So I think once we get that back and everyone fighting for that starting 11 spot and strength in depth, then we're only going to get stronger. But the lads are settled in very quickly. I think the long journeys help. 4 or 5 hours, chatting and playing cards and stuff on the back of the bus. So yeah, and obviously Langie's got his mate from Viking as well, so he's settled right in.
I was going to ask how you spend the long journeys, the bus journeys. Is it cards predominantly?
Yeah, there's a card school at the back of the bus, and then the other lads, not really sure to be fair, too engrossed in the card, but like they'll be like watching series or whatever. But yeah, Langy and Lars are straight in on the card school.
Just on you've captained the side a couple of times recently, led the team out at Pride Park for the first time. How proud a moment was that for you?
Yeah, really proud. Yeah, it meant a lot when got asked to do it at Cardiff, and yeah, real proud moment of my career. Just disappointed that we didn't get any results in the 2 games that I've had it so far. So yeah, bit sweet really in the end, but yeah, still real proud moment, and hopefully, can help lead the team a little bit, being one of the older heads.
Does the result on Saturday give you now something to build on for Tuesday night, because it's undoubtedly a massive game at Pride Park?
Yeah, definitely. It does help. I think performance first and foremost, though, is what we're really taking away. And then if we can add to that, be a little bit more clinical. I think even the goal that was disallowed first half against Norwich, I don't think it should have been disallowed on reflection. I think, well, who knows? But we've potentially gone to win the game, getting in front in the game, and it had gone to our game plan really well. So I think it's more the performance that we can take a lot of hope from, and the fact that the squad's getting stronger.
Ben Osborn there ahead of tonight's game at Pride Park. Neither Derby or Oxford too interested in the top half of the Championship table at the moment. Leeds and Sheffield United still hold the automatic promotion places. West Brom and Blackburn, the most vulnerable of the playoff teams, still just 7 points from 5th all the way down to 14th. Oxford are only actually 8 points out of a playoff place themselves. Crucially, 9 clear of Derby and the relegation zone. A win or draw for the Rams tonight takes them out of the bottom 3 at least for 24 hours. Well, Oxford have managed to open up a very healthy gap between themselves and the relegation places. They went on a 9-match unbeaten run following the appointment of Gary Rowett just before Christmas. And on Friday, he was named Championship Manager of the Month for January.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection on everyone at the club. I mean, that's the way I look at these type of awards. It's, in some ways, it's a shame that it just says Manager of the Month, because I think it's a collective performance, it's a collective effort, and it's an opportunity really, I suppose, for me to thank all the staff that have worked so hard, thank the players that have worked so hard, people behind the scenes. So yeah, I think it's a culmination really of coming in and people buying into the ideas and really working incredibly effectively and efficiently to try and bring those ideas into practice, because of course you can't do everything on your own, and it's nice to be able to recognise that, I think, and be rewarded for that.
It was 6 games across January that we stayed undefeated in, 3 wins and 3 draws. I actually just want to go back to the first game of January away to Millwall on New Year's Day, our first away victory of the season, and after just coming off the back of 2 home wins, as somebody who was in the stands, maybe people that were watching it, that felt like a really significant one. Did it feel like that at the time? And do you think that's been a really important step in getting that first away victory for everything else that's followed?
Yeah, I think so. I think every sort of first is a big one, because mentally you've overcome that hurdle, and that hurdle doesn't then last for another 5, 6, 7 games. And I think it's really important. I think we still need to massively improve our away form. I think having only won 1 game so far this season is not brilliant, and we need to improve that. But I think that game against Millwall just felt like we broke another barrier. I think the first 2 home games coming in to win those, and then winning that game, I think felt like a big victory, and that maybe gave us the confidence to then go and compete well in the other away games. So yeah, I think it's hard to create anything that's more significant than something else, but I think that first away win was a big barrier to overcome.
And after the success of January, I know that it'll be the case of trying to then create the next run of results to go undefeated again. That'll start against Derby County next Tuesday night, a team that you know extremely well. Just what type of challenge will that be for us to go to Pride Park?
A big challenge. I mean, there's going to be 30,000 Derby fans there, which is always a difficult atmosphere to play in front of, because they support their team through thick and thin. And whilst Derby haven't been going through their best patch of form at the moment, they've got good people there. They've got good coaching staff. They've got some good players, and they know how to compete in this division. And when you're on one thing, when you're not on a good run, is at some point you work hard enough that turns around. So we have to make sure that we're not the team that turns around again. Of course, they've got a game beforehand. I say it all the time. I would never ever turn up at any away ground thinking that we have any sort of divine right to win a game. We don't. We have to work really, really hard, and we have to compete first and foremost against a very competitive Derby County team that are very physical, very athletic. So
Gary Rowett there, who has already beaten Derby 4 times since leaving Pride Park. Well, Matt Hamshaw, the man tasked with leading the Rams once again this evening after an emotional and exhausting couple of days.
Yeah, I feel great, to be honest. Obviously, I think I spoke on Saturday about the immense pride I had first. Obviously, a kind of
taking over the ship at a club as big and good as this. And it wasn't till probably after the enormity of what it was, because I was kind of in the middle of it, trying to run everywhere and sort things out. And then after, obviously, you get all the texts and the messages, and then it was kind of straight on to Oxford. So like, it's quite interesting, because Jono and Bucko have just been saying to me then, like, you just literally get no time in first team stuff, do you? Because we were on bus and I like threw up laptops across and we're like, right, here we go, Oxford lads, and like, what? Like, so I think just the difference I'm seeing in everything, and just how much probably get ingrained in your work is sometimes probably people don't see it, but when obviously like they've stepped up from academy, they're like, wow. So yeah, good but different.
How much do you appreciate the way that those two in particular, Bradley Johnson, Jay Buxton, have stepped up and jumped in with you?
Yeah, they've been a huge. I mean, I apologise to the wives now if any of them are watching, but yeah, so they literally dropped everything and come down. And I think I spoke to you after the game, saying I had to get on laptops with them for 3 hours and then like introduce them to lads, because some of them, I know Derby fans obviously know who they are, but the new lads didn't really know who they were, so kind of introduce them to them, and then them get up to speed with the game plan, and yeah, so like huge credit to them, and obviously Andy, who's been with me, who's kind of stepped up in a different way. So yeah, it's been stressful, exciting, but really good, and something that I think all four of us have enjoyed really.
Pride is a word you've used already, I think. How proud were you of the performance from the boys at Norwich on Saturday?
Really proud, yeah. I thought they were excellent, and we'd like, I mean, I keep repeating myself, but we'd done a lot of work last week on it. So I think you saw some of the in possession bits, and I'm obviously disappointed that Lars's goal got ruled out, because I think that would have been a goal that got shown here for quite some time. The way we played through the thirds, the passes we played, the finish, the quality. And the probably, in my opinion, the things that we know these players are capable of doing came out, and that's the biggest thing for me. The confidence that they showed, the work that we'd done, but obviously the ability and confidence to get on it in a tough environment against a good team, and to me look like a proper championship team, which I think we are.
Nice to be on the other side of a late goal, wasn't it?
It definitely was. Yeah, we've definitely been on the wrong side of a few. But yeah, I don't know. It sounds really strange now, but like I just felt we were going to get something out of the game, and I don't know if it were fair. I don't know why it was. I felt really calm at the side of the pitch, probably calmer than I have been in the dugout as a coach at times. So I just felt this performance really deserved something, and I thought we created real good opportunities, and I appreciate the fact that Norwich had a bit of the ball, but they had the ball in the areas we wanted them to. Their goal come from a mistake from us really, like Jerry should have got hold of it, and Clarkey released a bit too early, but we've looked at that and spoke to them about it, and to be fair, Clarkey I don't think slept very well Saturday night, but that goes to show the pride he's got in the club and the career he's had, that he knows a little bit, but he's been exceptional last two games, and I'm sure from now till the end of the season he'll carry on that form.
It's a busy week for you, as you've said. How do you approach Tuesday night now at Pride Park?
With positivity on the front foot. It's obviously a massive game, but we knew before this week come the enormity of this week. I think the lads are in a good place. We've obviously got 3 very close games. We kind of made changes with half an eye on this game tomorrow, and we potentially will do again with the game on Friday. But I think, and again, I spoke about it a lot, the fact that we've got everybody back up and ready and raring to go allows us to do that with more conviction than probably we have done in recent weeks. So a good opportunity at home again, and I think his performances have been really good at home. We just haven't had the results, and I'm excited and looking forward to getting down there tomorrow, and hopefully we can play as well as we did at Norwich, and be probably a little bit more front-footed.
First team coach Matt Hamshaw there. There is a full complement of fixtures in the Championship over the next 2 nights. Portsmouth host Cardiff this evening. That's the only game of real significance for Derby. Stoke, Hull, Plymouth and Luton all in action tomorrow. And tonight at Pride Park Stadium, it is Derby County against Oxford United, and it's a game you can watch on RamsTV. Viewers outside the UK and Ireland can get your game passes now at dcfc.co.uk. Join myself and Sean Barker for Matchday Live from 7:15. Until then, goodbye.